Yo, what is up? Hello, everyone. How are we today? Are we doing well? It's me, it's Tim. I don't know how this sounds or looks. I'm hoping it looks and sounds good. I'm going to pull it up on my own shit just to look and see how it's doing. Looks pretty good. Let's see if we can hear me. Sound a little quiet, but hey, let's move this up a little bit. That might be better. Okay. All right. Anyways, gang, today, what is up? Hey, just hanging out. Welcome to the stream, the first one. I don't know what I am doing. I have decided to write a play with all of you. I have it set up to write a play. We did a play today on the show, and it was absolutely insane. So if we want, we can get into it. I'm waiting for a couple more people to get in. I don't really have anything. I should have pulled up like a video, but I'm on. Also, if you hear a little buzz, that's the air conditioner behind me. Sorry, it's hot as hell. And also, this is the studio. Look at it. It's awesome. What an incredible peek behind the lens. But we're gonna write a play today. Hopefully it's as insane as the last one. Hopefully it'll annoy Myka. We'll see what happens. I'm not really sure. I'm using OBS today. I'm sure there's better software to stream with. I just don't have any money right now, so I'm using OBS because it seems to be the easiest way to do this for free. Sean from Pittsburgh, what it do, yo? What it do? I think I'm on like a 60-second delay, so just a heads up with that. Gang, let's check it out. Let's see what we've got. I'll pull it up here. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I've got my little guy here for our stream play today. What up, the Gimp? The Gimp is here. So we've got to come up with some characters. We got to come up with a location. We need a little motivation for the characters, and then we can probably come up with some dialogue. I might have to do that alone while I meditate and listen to Radiohead. That's how the dialogue comes to me when I go into my mind palace and listen to Radiohead. So that may have to happen later, but today we can get the bones of the play going. Sean from Pittsburgh, the Gimp, let me know in the chat how I sound. I do want to know how I sound. I'm using my little lapel Rode mic that I stole from my job, so I'm wondering if I sound good. It looks pretty good on my end, so that looks okay. It says I have an excellent connection, which is always positive. You always like to hear that you have a excellent connection. I should have. I also pulled this away. That matters none to you guys. So. You dropped Mind Palace on your girl today. What was the response to Mind Palace for your lady? I feel like women don't understand a good Mind Palace. Maybe a little low. Okay, well, this is as high as I can get it for now. I'll use a different mic next time. I can't really set it up at the moment, but I thought this would be okay because it seems to work for the game shows, but my bad. Sorry I'm a little low, but we'll get it fixed up for next time. We'll use another mic. All right. Well, Sean from Pittsburgh, it's good to have you here. The Gimp, it's good to have you here. Anybody else get in the chat? Her eyes rolled as hard as Myka's. Yes, absolutely. I've been getting some eye rolls today. Myka, you know, all right, cool. Sounds good for the Gimp. I'll tell you this. I don't understand why women won't like anime more. Myka's always eye rolling me when I'm trying to describe to her what's happening in the show I'm watching. But, then I get a hard eye roll. All right, let's start with a location today. Gang, it seems like we got a couple people in here. I'm not expecting us to get tens of thousands of viewers. I'm really expecting about what we've got now, around 9 to 12, which actually for most streams is incredible. I think it puts me in the top 5% of streamers if I'm getting up to 12 people watching. So let's do a location. What do we got location-wise? For some reason, I was thinking, I'll just write it down. I was thinking a parking lot outside of Walmart popped into my head, but I'll take some other locations if you guys have anything, and then we can figure out which one we like the best. EO, what's up? I see you with the x-rays. How are we doing? I'm actually just going to move this here. That way I can do both things and not have to move that one thing around anymore. But yeah, so I've got parking lot outside of Walmart. I like that. I don't know. Kona Clap. I don't know what that is. I would assume it's some kind of Hawaiian. Kona. I'm going to write it down here in the locations. Kona Clap. A drainage ditch behind Popeyes. That sounds pretty good. Drainage ditch behind Popeyes. And I will be misspelling, and we will not worry about that. So that will not be a thing we worry about today. Kona Clap. Kona Clap likely referring to the customary ritual in some parts of the world, particularly in East Asia, where a leaf of something known as the Japanese pepper tree, or a regional equivalent in China or Korea, is placed between cupped hands and clasped to release aroma. Oh, okay. Well, that's exciting. So that's exciting to see. The Kona Clap. Now we've all learned something today now, haven't we? So we've got, so that's not really a place, I don't think. It's more of an action. Let's make another little thing here. Let's go with let's just put some actions up in here. Actions. And then I'm going to throw the Kona. Fuck. Oh, motherfucker. Kona Clap. There we go. What do we got? A crack house, living room, in an affordable neighborhood. Okay. Crack house, living room. Affordable neighborhood. That sounds pretty good. I like this. Crack house. Crack house. Living room in an affordable neighborhood. I did have a buddy once who lived in a nice neighborhood, and his next door neighbors got raided because it was a crack house in the middle of like a nice suburban neighborhood, which was cool. Actually, let me exit out of this real quick. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, and I'm sorry for talking out loud. Okay, let's see. Adam the Wizard, also Hydraulic Monkey, what up? Adam the Wizard, what up? Abroad gave me the Kona Clap when I was in college. Yeah, I bet she did. I bet she damn did. You get one of those grass skirt women back to your place. You got to be careful. Adam the Wizard, is this the Great Hang Play, or are we talking Broadway? Well, we start here at the Great Hang Play, then we move to Off-Broadway, and then, of course, the Great White Way will be our final home, Adam the Wizard. So we've got parking lot outside of Walmart, drainage ditch behind Popeyes I like, and crack house living room I like too. I'm going to delete mine because mine kind of sucks. So we're now between drainage ditch behind Popeyes and crack house living room in an affordable neighborhood. What are we, that was to you, Adam. What are we thinking here between drainage ditch behind Popeyes and crack house living room in an affordable neighborhood? I'm kind of leaning towards crack house living room in an affordable neighborhood. I think there's more to do in that space, if you know what I'm saying. Like, we can really expand the universe out into the neighborhood. I guess, though, we could expand the drainage ditch into Popeyes, although almost every Popeyes I've ever been to is like a third world country, so who knows. But let me know what you guys think. Which one are we leaning towards here? Or if you have more suggestions on what we should do, let me know on that too. But right now I'm going to close a few of my fucking apps. So let me know what you guys want, what you guys are thinking here. Hydraulic Monkey, you're thinking Crack House. Okay, I like that. And you were the one with the drainage ditch behind Popeyes. I like that. So this seems right up your alley. So I'm gonna get rid of Hydraulic Monkey. I'm getting rid of yours, and we're gonna go with Crack House living room, an affordable neighborhood. Popeyes could be across the street from the Crack House. That is true. Let's put Popeyes adjacent in there. That seems like Gimp. You like Crack House? Yeah, I like Crack House too. I think it's. I think there's a lot we can do a lot with that. EO says pro baseball stadium on the occasional full bush night where every monster bush would get a little tiny baseball bat as swag. Okay, that's a little more than what I was looking for, but I will take it. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and not take suggestions. So let's see. We'll put it in there. I do think the full bush night where every monster bush would get a tiny bat as swag. I think that's kind of, we're a little far from where we're gonna go here. I like the idea though. I like the idea of having to show Bush to get a tiny bat. Now, I think in this situation though, I mean, this could be unisex Bush, where it's male Bush or female Bush, but I think in this one, since it's a baseball game and not a softball game, we have to have dudes showing it. And depending on the size of hog they have, is the size of bat they get when they go into the baseball game, so then ladies know what they're working with in this situation, you know? So that would be my thought for this, but sorry. I've really had I've been choked up with a cough today. Let's see. I like the full Bush night rules. Okay. They would say I already have a tiny bat. Adam the Wizard, absolutely. See, that's what we're going for. Every Bush gets a bat. Watch Podwaisaki. I like that toothpick bat. Okay. All right. Let's go. Okay. Let's go with. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. So it's gonna be this. This is where my mind is gone. This is where maybe we show Bush to get a tiny bag of crack at the Crack House adjacent to the Popeyes. See, Hydraulic Monkey, your mind is kind of working where my mind is working. Let me throw this in here real quick. So I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna talk while I write. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I kind of can't do two things at one time. I wish I could. I absolutely wish I could, but I cannot. So let's do, what do I want to do here? Okay. So, character goes to baseball, game, gets bat for Bush, bat size undetermined for character as of now, then leaves the game to go to the Crack House, uses bat as conversation starter. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is we have our character go to the baseball game, gets the bat for the Bush. We have not determined if this guy, what size hog this guy has yet, and then leaves the game and goes to the Crack House, uses the bat as a conversation starter. Let's see. What do you guys think about that? Okay, yes, EO, yes, that's good. We can also pre-game at Crack House. That's a good idea too, because then We could crack keeps Dick shriveled, and that's what could cause causing our conflict. Okay, let's see here. So we've got toothpick bat. Adam, I like that. Maybe we should have the bush get a tiny bag of crack adjacent to the Popeyes pregame at the crack house. The home team could be chilling at the crack house. I like that idea, but I think that'll be a little too a full-size bat, but it's a little curved is very funny. I really like that. Oh, dude could be trying to sell the bat for crack. Also smart. That's a good idea. Okay, so I like pregame. Here's the thing. I like pregame at the crack house, and I like bat has curve, but I also like try to pawn bat for crack. But I like the idea that the crack will keep him from being able to have to be. It'll keep him from being able to fluff and get himself in a position to get a bigger bat, which I think is the funnier move here. So let's take the pawn the bat for crack. But wait. Okay, so. This guy could be going with his. Okay, I've got an. Okay, so let's so characters. So under characters here, let's see who we've got. We got to get some characters now to fill this thing out. So we've got. Let's just say fan / crack addict. Character named Pork Roll. Okay, drug dealer, of course, who will be named Pork Roll. I like that as a drug dealer name, since the drug dealers I have known in my life have been ham, Lil Bacon, and steak. So that fits into the drug dealer category. Yeah, the fluff struggle. I think the fluff struggle is real here. I think that's. I think that can be a major motivation, because the man. Here's what I'm thinking: the man will be on here. Well, under motivation, we'll write fluff struggle, and also getting crack. I also think that this gentleman should have a kid. I think the crack addict should have a son. So, son of addict is what I'm putting here. And I think another one of the motivations, getting crack, and then I'm going to put selling son's ticket for crack money. So the son doesn't get to go to the game. The dad still goes to the game with him without him because he's high on crack. Is a thing I'm thinking that could be too sad. You guys can let me know if that is too sad. But I'm going to have a little water here if you don't mind. Let's see. Name the son Luis Gomez. Okay. Son of addict. Luis Gomez. That's good. I like that. We can name him Luis Gomez. I got no problem with that. EO Pro Full Bush attendee who takes Full Bush really, really seriously. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But we got to keep it. I like that. So we're going to go Crack House and Pro Baseball. I know what you're saying. It's someone who's taking it really, really seriously, and that can create conflict. But I think we've got enough conflict here. But let me know if you guys want that. We can add it in. The dad could also try to do a two guys in a trench coat thing. That's true. Well, he could sell his son's ticket. He could sell his son's ticket and then do a cancer son thing to sneak him in. Yeah, well, making the kid the bottom half, of course. would be the way to go. I like the idea of him being an even bigger piece of shit, though. Not in, not that, not that I am a big piece of shit in any way, shape, or form, but I like this. So we've got. Oh, this would be under action. Well, whatever. Motivation is. It doesn't matter. Fuck this. I don't. I just made all this today to make it easier, and now I've already fucked my whole thing up. All right, Adam, you like the cancer thing better. This is turning into a gas digital biography. That's funny. Which one of the dads gets stabbed here is the question. This is good. Okay, so we've got the drug dealer who we're going to name Pork Roll. Let me put name there so I know. Fan and crack addict. We need a name for the fan. Gimp, you enjoy the ride, Gimp. I'm just happy you're here watching, baby. I love it. I'm probably going to stream. We'll probably stream till like 10. Just for the first one, really kind of get this all figured out. This is really fun so far. I'm having a great time with you guys. I looked up and it was 9:22 and I was like, holy shit, the time has just flown by. So this is really fun. We need some names though. So we've got Luis Gomez, we've got Pork Roll. I need a name for the fan / crack addict. I mean, really, it would be something Gomez. Let's not use Luis's actual dad's first name. Let's think of a different name. I was gonna say Ron is what I'm working with right now. I like Ron. Ron always seems like a name to me of a guy who's about to be a piece of shit. You run into a guy named Ron, you're like, this guy is probably not doing anything good. C dumps crack babies. Well, there is. Let's see, location, crack house. Let's say. Can we do? Yeah. Inside the crack house, we see a dark room with a crib and tiny malnourished child. That's not how you spell malnourished, and I don't care. I don't care. Ronaldo Van Halen Gomez, I like that. Ronaldo Fink Gomez, Dire Badger, you might be. I think Ronaldo Fink. I think I'm going to go with Ronald. I like Ronald better than Ronaldo, but I like Ronald Fink Gomez. I really like that. Ron the Roller is funny. Finn Wet Sponge Sullivan. That's good. We can get a. Let's just put some. No, let's do this. Because I might just take some of these names for later, really. Finn, Wet Sponge, Sullivan. Maybe one day we could make something to where it's basically an entire episode of just a play, which I feel like is for no one. I'm going to be quite honest with you. An entire 40-minute play written by us. Me, your fearless leader in the chat. Not dark. Crack isn't darkness. Crack would probably have you on off to dome. I mean, I've never done crack. I don't particularly want to do crack. I don't like being jazzed up. I kind of like being tired. Ronaldo Fink honors Nick Mullen's fallen son. R.I.P. I like that. Thanks, EO. So Nick Mullen's fallen son. There is a Come Town bit that I can't stop watching, which is the bad kid when Nick Mullen is doing the bad kid. I've probably watched it 10,000 times, and I laugh till I cry every single time. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. All right, so we've got crack addict. So let's run through what'll happen here. So we'll run through what's happening here in the play. So we are going to have dad meets mom. So he's divorced. He's a divorced dad. He's getting to see his kid to take the kid to the baseball game. So dad meets mom at the Popeyes. Adjacent to the crack house in an affordable neighborhood. So we'll have an interaction. So we'll need so now we have an extra character now, mom, who's probably only going to have like one line. So dad meets mom at the Popeyes, adjacent to the crack house in an affordable neighborhood, to get son for visitation. Next, dad and son go to crack house before game. Mom played by Jeff Sheen. Renee, there's no more feminine man in the history of the world. He would love to throw a wig on and play that mom. I can tell you that right now. So dad and son go to crack house before the game. Dad doesn't have enough money, so gives son's ticket away for crack. All right. Then we'll write dad smokes crack. All right, so that's what we've got so far. The mom should be a lawyer and straight-laced and know who Ron is. Well, yeah, you're right. So mom, let's write under motivation, mom straight-laced, lawyer, knows Ron sucks. Knows Ron sucks. Mom is a straight-laced lawyer. So then Popeye's adjacent to the crack house. Then we'll write mom gives Ron an earful before she leaves. An earful, let's write, about parenting. Let's say Ron left the kid at the mall or something. Knows Ron sucks. Let's just say, I'm just going to write this here. It might not end up in the final draft, but I'm just going to write this here so I know for the future. I'm just going to write, lawyer knows Ron sucks because he abandoned kid once or twice. So that'll just be a little reminder for what to do when we write the play. They really say first time is the worst time. That's true. Every one of my friends who has smoked crack said that smoking crack is one of the most fun times they've had. Shout out Rare Meat Summer. Shout out to you, Fartist. Thank you for coming and hanging out for the stream. We're really cooking something up right now. I think this is going to be a play for the ages next week. All right, so we've got dad meets mom at Popeyes, adjacent to the crack house in an affordable neighborhood to get his son for visitation. Mom gives Ron an earful about parenting before she leaves. Dad and son go to crack house before the game. This is all for me. Kid shows up years later, asks dad what he's doing. Dad says, "Where are you going?" in a never-ending loop. Okay. C-Dumps, I like this. I like this flash forward towards the end. So let's add something down here. Flash forward to son father reunion after years. So something fucked up got to happen here, but that'll be our ending point there is the flash forward. I actually like that idea. A play to behold, or so I've been told. Oh, fartist. A word artist. EO says, Mom talks way too much and poetically about butter. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I like it. I like it. I like that we're working together. Maybe he claims the kid ran off to play, but he was found off the highway ramp or something. I like that. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. Or he dropped him off to play. I just think he's a real piece of shit that lost his kid. But I like that. Okay, so the dad smokes crack after giving his son's ticket away. He smokes the crack. He and his son. So I think the dad has a Huffy with pegs, and the son, and he trails his son to the game on the back of his bike, pedaling furiously, crack style. Oh, she's hot for butter. Okay, all right. Mouse pad blue screened again. I don't know what that means. That might be. Is that on me? I don't know. I apologize if my shit is fucking up in any way. And also, I apologize if I don't understand what you're saying because I'm an idiot. So I also apologize. Final reveal, the dad is not the dad because of Bush comparison. So do they I like this, but I need it to make sense. So because we need, in the play, we need everything to kind of make sense. We can throw a lot of things at the wall, but we need them all to kind of come together in the end, and we need a reason for everything to happen. But the Bush comparison could make sense if for some reason they needed to do a DNA test because of a murder. I just don't see how looking at it would do it, but I also am an idiot. Okay, so they find out Pork Roll is the real father. Okay, so let's try father-son reunion after years. Dad, not real dad. Pork Roll is. I like that. It can make a little bit more sense. Toilet brushes are like Bibles. Everyone needs them. Nobody wants them. Well, I mean, okay, Fartist, I love you, but that joke doesn't really make sense because some people do. Well, nobody needs a Bible, but everybody does need a toilet brush. And people do want a toilet brush to brush their toilets. Fartist, I hate to tell you. That one was bad. All right, gang. So the dad has a Huffy, trails his son to the game on the back of his bike, pedaling furiously, crack style. I'm going to move my chair over here a little bit. Let's see. Dad meets mom at Popeyes. The dad is not the real dad. Pedaling furiously, crack style. Let's go with son. The son will complain at this point. Son complains about no ticket. That's going to happen. Bibles come in handy when you need a loose pack of papers and forgot to buy one. That is true. That is true. That was the first joint I ever smoked was out of a page of the Bible. And I think that's why I'm so sacrilegious to this very day, is because I smoked God's word and none of it stuck. Yeah, or if you need to clean the toilet, hey, just rip a couple of pieces of the Bible out of there, wrap them around your hand, and go to town on your toilet. That's true. Man, this podcast is not going to last in the new Christo-fascist era of America we're coming into, so gang, enjoy it while it lasts, because after that, we're done for. The Tucker Carlsons and Charlie Kirks of the world are going to come for our freaking heads. All right, Son's going to complain about not having a ticket. Let's just put / in general. So the Son's going to complain in general. So far we've got dad beats mom, buys crack, smokes a crack, rides his bike to take them in. Hail Satan the Gimp. Why don't we make airplanes from Percoline? I don't know what Percoline is, and now I have to look it up. Percoline. Oh, it's a fabric. What is it? Percoline is a lightweight cotton fabric, especially glossy fabric, used for bookbindings. You know, I don't know why they don't make airplanes out of that. Yeah, I'd have to guess, if I absolutely had to guess, I'd say it's because it can't hold the weight of most fat Americans. What about cocksuckula? Okay, now I'm going to write down cocksuckula here with my characters right here. Cocksuckula will not be in next week's play, but not in the play, because I already wrote a play for this week. We did the pod already today. So there is a play coming out this week. This one will come out next week, and then the week after that, next Monday at 9. Will I be home? Hold on one second. Let me double check and make sure. Oh, it's Labor Day. I'm not doing shit. So next week at 9, I will be here, and we can do a play for cocksuckula. We can do a cocksuckula play next week at 9. Christian, good call on cocksuckula, because I'd always be forgetting about that mug. And cocksuckula is too big of a character to really forget about. Jugzilla is a good character with cocksuckula, so I'm going to put down Jugzilla as in the world of cocksuckula. I like that, Fartist. I like that. Okay, so then we get to game. Show, bush, get tiny, bat. Wait. Get to game. Get to game. Cancer, sun, show, bush. Get to game. Cancer, sun. Show, bush, get tiny bat. This is for a good cause. Get to game. Cancer, sun, show, bush, get tiny bat. All right, I like that. What else could we do here with this? Get tiny bat. Oh yeah. Confrontation over bat size. Gay farmers from Texas. Chuck Space wants a gay farmer from Texas. Well, that could be. I actually kind of like that also in the cocksuckula realm here for next week. Gay farmer, Texas. So we can start off with this for next. We've already got a little start on next week too, which I like. Shave son's head, of course, yes, of course he needs to shave son head. Sean complains about no ticket in general and head shave. I'm going to put here, so that's before we get to the game. Good call, Adam the Wizard. You're right. He does need to save his son's head. So you get to game, Cancer Son, show Bush, you get tiny bat. Confrontation over bat size. I think after the confrontation over the bat size, the dad gets arrested. I think he should get, yes, right, of course, to make it look like the son has cancer. You're right. And I think it'd be funny if he shaves the kid's head with a razor, but also kind of cuts him. And so they know that his hair didn't like fall out naturally. In general, head shave, cuts, head. So they know his like hair didn't fall out naturally, and they're like, what? If he really had cancer, why would he be bleeding? You know, so cuts head as giveaway. I guess I can also watch this stream later and remind myself of all of this stuff. So we get to the game. He tries to do the Cancer Son thing, shows his bush, and gets tiny bat. Then we have a confrontation over the bat size, and then the dad. I think the dad should get arrested, is what I think here. And then the president shows up to get him and says he has a friend with a cool island. I mean, here's the thing. I understand. Listen, I understand going to. It's tough. Like, all these people are on the flight logs to go to Epstein Island just because. And I'm not defending the president here. I'm just defending the idea of being able to go to a private island. If someone was like, "Hey, Tim, do you want to get on my private jet and go to my private island?" I would say yes, every single time. Now, if I get to that private island and I see that there's some kind of trafficking going on of young women, I would have to then be like, "Hey, man." Well, I wouldn't say anything on the island because you're stuck on that island, of course. You're on that island. So you can't, you're stuck. So you can't cause a stink there. But then when you get home, you got to be like, "Hey, now that wasn't cool. That was kind of messed up that you made me do that." And then tell everybody about it. And then keep track of who you know that goes after that after you've told them. And then you can become a hero in the eyes of the public. And that is how you take them down from the inside. So anyways, that's just my little rant about that. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? The fartist says, make the cancer itself have a son, baby cancer, and it spreads to his thigh. Okay. I mean, we could do that. That would be more if we were doing like a monster horror type thing. I like that. Takes his dog for a walk. Chuck Space, I think you're a little behind on what we're going, but I like it. I wouldn't go back. No, I wouldn't go back. Right. The only reason you would ever go back to the island is to say, "Hey, I wanted to come back and tell all you that what you're doing is wrong." That's the only reason you would ever go back to the island. But there's a lot of stuff you don't never get to experience in life. And riding on a private jet and going to a private island is one of the things that no one ever really gets to do. So if it was ever offered to me, I would do it. Can we have HV a bush cam in the vein of a kiss cam? Republic has always reminded me of an ice cream flavor. Bush cam is good. Bush cam is good. Well, that's right. Where should we? Let's see here. I'm just going to type in bush cam here to remind me. Republic of Banana Ripple. Is that a place? That does sound like an ice cream. Republic of if Republic of Banana Ripple is a place, that sounds like the most delicious place in the world of banana ripple. Banana Republic. Oh, Republic doesn't refer to a real place. It's likely a misspelling of banana. Oh, oh, it's in Guatemala. Oh, Guatemala. All right, so we've got. Um, Dad says kid make a wish is that he wants some crack. I like that. Give son's ticket away. Okay, so maybe he should. Well, so the make a wish. Oh, M Night. Okay. Um, so the make a wish thing I like, but it wouldn't. But then give me hold on, okay, sorry. The make a wish thing I like, but then he would have to shave the kid's head before they get to the crack dealer's house, which I don't think would really make sense for them to do. So I think that they would, because it makes more sense for him to have to shave the son's head, then, well, it makes more sense for him to give the ticket away and then have to shave the son's head to do the cancer scam. Is what makes more sense to me. So I think that that's the way it should go. And since I'm writing it, that's the way it will go. But no, that's what I think. So cool being able to watch the process of a writer's room. That's right. That's right, the Gimp. This is the process of a writer's room. A lot of the writer's room is like Cocksuckula and Jugzilla. This is what it's like. I mean, people talk about how funny the writer's room at Parks and Rec was. They didn't get to see stuff like this. They weren't watching this bullshit right here that we're doing. But I do like the idea of the Make-A-Wish. I'm gonna write it in with Bushcam here. I'm gonna write Make-A-Wish so that we use it in some way. Oh, you think you should see a sign for cancer awareness to remind him that, to give him the idea. Okay. Let's see. Dad smokes crack. So let's see. Pedaling furiously. Son complains about no ticket. And then we'll say, Dad sees cancer billboard. Maybe it doesn't matter. Gets idea to shave head. Okay, I like that. Don't. So cool. Okay, Cancer Awareness Day. Yeah, I like that. Either a cancer billboard or maybe a billboard that's like #1 hospital in the region for cancer patients or cancer research, something like that. Because that would make sense while they're going. I don't use GPT. I don't write things that love me. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Fartist, you need to write. You gotta put the love out to get the love back, as many would say in the art community. And you're a fartist. You should know that. Adam the Wizard. I get him to think he can get the kid in for free. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was thinking he would have the ticket and scalp it after seeing the sign. Okay, maybe that makes sense. Cancer billboard before crack by. So let's just write that in there. All right, we got a lot of good stuff here, gang. This is really coming along. I think we have a good little. I think we're really cooking here. I think it's going to get condensed. So I just want to tell everyone now. This is probably going to get condensed a little bit. I don't want anyone to feel offended if things I've written down here that you thought were going to get in don't get in. I just want to let you guys know that it may get very condensed, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, I have to. The trick to writing is putting on Kid A from Radiohead and then going into your mind palace and allowing yourself to get lost in the music of Radiohead, and then the dialogue just kind of comes to you. Except for women. I can't really write for women, so none of these things will pass the Bechdel test. I'll tell you that. So I like this. So the dad sees a cancer billboard before the crack, gets the idea to shave the head. I like that. Get to the game. Kirsten shows Bush, tiny back gets converted. I like the dad gets arrested. Bush cam and make a wish. I like when the dad arrested, dad in jail. Clap Mind Palace, absolutely. Kid could be like, look, Dad, wear pink for cancer today at the field, and the dad could be like, pink is for F-slurs. Yeah, we could. I try to stay away from anything. As much as I love to be a little bad boy with my words in real life, I try to stay away from them on the pod as much as possible, just for the sheer fact of this thing getting taken off the internet. I just don't want to get it taken down, so we might stay away from that, but I like where your head is at. So they arrested the dad. I thought it would be a jail like that he gets hauled off at, because the mom, I think we said, was a lawyer, so it would make sense that the dad's arrested in jail. Mom picks lawyer mom picks up son from the jail house. Like, the son is sitting there with the cops. They had to call the mom to come pick him up, and then the dad can talk to the mom. Then Ron talks to mom. That's what I'm thinking right now, but I don't know if we have any more ideas. And then this will be the end of Ron's parental visitation. It is his last fuck up, and then we can do the flash forward to a father-son reunion years later, and then we can find out that the dad is not actually the dad. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it's got good bones for a story. Let me know if any of you guys are thinking of anything else. If you've got anything else, let me know in the chat. Man, I don't know why my shit gets so dry, but just talking makes your maybe the kid is in the jail with the dad, but the kid is running shit, and the dad is a pocket holder for some much larger fella. I don't know. But I can write it down. I guess it doesn't hurt to write it down. Kid runs shit in jail. Dad is sissy with big protector. Is what I'll write. Oh, you okay? So yeah, but I'll write that. I mean, I'll write it down anyways. Adam, I just want to make sure that we get our bases covered, as they say, to make this play go. Okay, gang, I think we did something good here. I think this was really good. I think this was a really good brainstorming thing. I hope you all liked it. I don't know. Let me know if you liked doing this. I would really like to know if you did. If you didn't, well, I'll never do it again. I'll stop. I'll stop right now. I'll never do anything like this again. Um, oh, okay, good. I'm glad there's no hurt feelings. I just don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I know because I know sometimes when you put yourself out there creatively and no one, and it, not no one, but if you put yourself out there creatively and it doesn't get used, and you thought it was a really good idea, sometimes you can get a little bummed about it. Um, oh, hey, out here spitballing like Bonnie Blue. I love it. All right, cool. All right, good. Hydraulic Monkey, you thought it was fun. EO, you liked collabing. All right, cool. This is great. I just want everybody to have fun, really. I don't really give a fuck. This is always fun for me, and I like to chat with everybody. So this is always a good time for me. I appreciate all you guys hanging out for the hour. I'm probably going to get off here in a couple minutes unless we have any other suggestions from anywhere. Yes, the GGWR. We need so they have the Writers Guild of America, which is the WGA, but we're the GGWR, and we need to have our own health insurance, and we're going to have to give our dues in. If any of our stuff gets made, all of you are going to be in the Writers Guild. Every single one of you. You can expect a spec script in the mail. Okay. I'm excited. But this was great. Gang, thank you all very much for hanging with me. I guess all I have to say is signing off. This is your fearless playwright leader. I guess the head writer. I guess I'd technically, okay. Start anew, bitch. Signing off. It is I, the head writer of the play, your free feed best friend, I don't know, Timothy Grady McLaughlin II. We are going straight to DVD. Bro, Hydraulic Monkey, I want to get this shit on Lifetime. I think we could make this sappy enough to be a Lifetime movie, baby. A kid whose dad is addicted to crack that has to make him hydraulic. Yes, it will say executive producer Hydraulic Monkey. I do think this could be a Lifetime movie. Dad addicted to crack, sells his son's ticket, tries to make him a cancer kid. Kristen Chenoweth is the mom. I don't understand how this doesn't make it to. I mean, if we don't get this on the Hallmark Channel, we're really fucking up here, gang. But signing off, it is I, Timothy Grady McLaughlin II. And I hope you all have a great rest of the day.